Good evening, welcome to ZSR2. We just went here from ZSR1 and have the next Z2R standard tournament Swiss bracket match. Coming up, Chromataclysm with the thehangrycanuck. It's about time we get going, because it's actually about time, as you all can see. We're all right on the dot, so let's mute the music. Let's dive into the action. And let's say hi to the two commentators right now, to Star and to Freako. Also, hi to Tomaltak doing the tracking.
Hey everyone, how are you doing, Freako?
I'll let you know in about 30 seconds once we get going. There's something that is a massive pet peeve of mine that might actually occur in this particular restream, and a runner may or may not get completely roasted because of it. Uh-oh, the clock ticking down from 10.5 minutes. Oh, there we go. Now it just changed to 15 seconds.
Okay, that's better. I was like, why is that 10 minutes and something? So, alright, we today have Swiss round 2, Chromataclysm versus the thehangrycanuck, who I'm going to call Chroma and Canuck for the rest of this race, because both names are mouthfuls. Oh, okay. Here's our start. Right by a little lake here. Next to Stonehenge, which has a magic jar.
Well, Angry Canuck seems to have voyaged east just a little bit. But looks like Angry Canuck gonna find our Stonehenge tile. Equalizing out the runners. Doesn't look like any major XP gains from either runner, although Chromataclysm seems to have found a bit of experience and I believe life too.
Oh, there's a hammer blocked area right there for Canuck. And unfortunately, both runners are buffering significantly for me, so I have no clue how they got where they're at. Okay, now I know. Okay.
I was gonna say, if you pause your torrent for a while, it might not buffer so badly. But it looks like Chromataclysm picking up a heart container. thehangrycanuck went into what looked like a pass-through cave, and
I think they're both in roughly the same area here in these two
yeah,
caves.
they are. thehangrycanuck is on their way in, and Chromataclysm on their way out.
Sounds about right. But this is a very boring starting little area here as of right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much is going on.
Goes absolutely nowhere.
Chromataclysm dipping back into Northern Palace, kind of forgetting that that's where they started.
Yep, they're blocked off by a river to the north, it looks like here, and there's a hammer block to the southwest. Kind of wondering where anything is, to be honest, right now. For those who may not have seen much Z2R, the map is randomized every time. No one knows where anything is. We find out as they go. Oh, okay. Chroma has gone west and found the bridge, which goes nowhere. And
Chromataclysm went the other west, I think.
Oh, no, that's east. East, sorry. And there's Bruto for kind of. You know what? Yeah. Not Bruto as well. That's Rauru in the west here.
Well, Chromataclysm found a very useful item if they were on the east. Problem is they are on the western continent.
There's thunder in Rauru. It seems to like to be there quite a lot lately.
Well, it is one of the compulsory spells that we need to finish the game. Otherwise, you kind of just sit there and watch Thunderbird lob fireballs at you for as long as you feel like dodging them.
much. Alright, no, there's Ruda. There's Railroad, I assume, for Chromataclysm. Like, oh no, that's actually Mido.
Yeah, Hangry Canuck look like they actually took the pass-through cave that was next to the heart container and has found new territory. Chromataclysm seems to have found a couple.
Oh,
Well,
hey, here is
Palace 1.
P1, kind of an olive green. And there's Saria, it's the front of Saria. And there looks to be another town, I think, just south as well. In the meantime, Canuck seems to be in a completely different part of the map. That is not a useful hint.
No. It does not narrow down the list of suspects whatsoever.
Nope. And I think that is that's Rudo.
So it looks like by process of elimination, Chromataclysm's going to find the backside of Staria. Also, finding Reflect, so...
Reflect in Saria, yep.
That opens up Palace 4 to be completed. Other conditions and terms apply. Go west to find the raft. That is possibly the most useful hint that we could have in this game.
Yeah,
Because
and there is either P3 or 6. Dark purple, right next to Mido Saria, the front of Saria, and P1. 4 things all right together. And is this a really funny looking Death Mountain?
Yay. It looks like...
I think it is a really funny looking Death Mountain.
Oh, boy.
Also, I think Canuck might have found... Where is he, actually? Oh, there's the back half of Saria.
Yep, back half of Saria, which we knew was going to be the final town tile.
And it looked like the back half was near Rudo. Yeah, this is indeed Death Mountain. Looking a little interesting today, but again... Also, Canuck found the flute while we were talking about other things, apparently.
Correct. So, to speak of my pet peeve, I'm gonna have to flame the Hangry Canuck for having their tracker actually overlap and bleed onto the screen itself.
Yeah. Okay, now, yeah, a little bit. Not by a ton, but it's a... Well, okay, no, actually, the timer and tracker have quite a bit of a thing overlap up the top, less so on the bottom. Which is also why the cropping looks a little wonky.
Alright, so, Hangry Canuck... Let's see. They shouldn't be able to find too much that they don't already know here. They're gonna have to head to the east and wrap around to find themselves in the same area where I believe Chromataclysm to presently be.
Yeah, he had to go all the way to the eastern coast and then head south to get around the mountains.
Hangry Canuck finding the trophy cave. So this will net Hangry Canuck the cross. I do not agree with Canuck up and A-ing there, but, oops.
Chromataclysm's found route has now gone through the pass-through that Canuck passed through earlier, so is now found route and Thunder.
Alright, so
Canuck is
we're gonna
in the
have a
wrong part
little
of the
bit of
map.
overlap then with the runners.
Oh, that's where the other. Oh, it took you south of that hammer rock. I was wondering where that exactly went to because I missed it earlier.
Well, it's all gonna loop around onto the south. Taking the pass-through will send you up north. Or possibly they're already up at the north. It's difficult to tell.
That we just saw from Chromataclysm that the pass-through took you south of the hammer rock that we saw right near the start.
Ah, okay. I did not see that. Hangry Canuck finding another item cave.
Yeah.
So let's see. Surprised Chromataclysm didn't find it already. So that would be the raft.
Look to be on the southwest coast. Not 100% sure how Canuck got there, but that's where it is. Radicalism finding Rudo, hey Mew Mew fan, and all of chat really. Got some regulars here. That is looks to be a kind of annoying spot for that raft. It's all the way in the southwest corner. Not even sure how Canuck got here, in all honesty, so...
Well, Chromataclysm picking up the flute.
Might just be a giant lake, more than anything else. That is the southern coast.
And neither Thunder nor Reflect are going to help with getting through the backside of Saria for Chromataclysm. And they've already found the trophy cave, so they need a cave that actually goes to the right.
They do. We also are still missing. Oh, there's our last palace. Never mind.
Found it.
GP in this right by the raft tile.
I kind of expect the Angry Canuck to take that raft tile. There are a couple places still on the Western continent, but I think I'd rather search for towns on the east at this point.
There's the dark purple palace from earlier. A P3 or P6, don't know which one yet because they haven't got in.
Hangry Canuck, I believe, going to pick up Reflect.
That is correct. He is now in the front half of Saria. And okay, Chromataclysm needs to head to the west for his raft because he has found his way south, it looks like, and got into the southern coast, which looks to be a little annoying in terms of layout. There's Reflect for Canuck.
I had ample time to look at Thunder and see how uncastable it was, but failed to do so. Oh well. I don't like this play from the Angry Canuck. They're kind of betting on that they can find keys to progress. Chromataclysm finding the good/bad news that Great Palace is on the Western continent.
he needs to not check DM for starters. But Chroma needs to go to the southwest corner of the map to go find its raft. Also, the Death Mountain looks to be in the far north state. No wonder we haven't seen it. The far north, it's all taken up by Death Mountain, apparently.
Well, I don't think Chromataclysm's gonna do too much in here, and the Hangry Canuck getting kicked out of Palace 1 almost straight away.
And this whole palace.
So not only are we gonna run into a key, I believe this is now confirmed to be Palace 6. We're gonna run into the potential of a glove block. So Angry Canuck has...
Nope, Canuck just marked this off as P3.
Okay, well, it's either 3 or 6, and the last I checked, they're supposed to be...
Okay, that was 3.
Right at 3, but I'll trust the runners more than myself on that one.
Yeah. Also, chat is confirming it was P3.
Angry Canuck seems to be interested in taking the pass-through as Chromataclysm finding the needle in the haystack.
Is this anything?
Well, it could be many things.
Vanilla hammer would be kind of funny.
Well, it would yield an immediate dividend with Spectacle Rock being not too far away.
Yeah, oh, Tanoto chat did point out, yeah, we saw a hint that Trophy was here in Death Mountain. We'll see if it's here.
Yeah, 50-50 shot of it being Trophy or something else. Unfortunately that falls under the something else category.
Just a pea bag.
And I think Chromataclysm's actually going to be married to that 908 experience that they have, which is semi-unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, enemies aren't being super friendly with that experience today. But he also understandably doesn't want to lose it. Is gonna try and get up to 1090. That's 162 points though right now, which with how the enemies are, isn't gonna be fun. Hi, DJ48 Kara. Not too much.
Well, nickel here, dime there, and Chromataclysm probably has about as good of a shot as game overing as they do picking up the last 135 experience to get that level.
They're trying to find some experience, but nothing's... Yeah, the enemies are not giving him anything. I think the 20-point enemies are the most we've seen out of this Death Mountain, really. And I'm sorry, but 20 points is sad.
Well, these skeleton heads should yield experience, but Chromataclysm just taking the long way out on 1 life right now, 1 HP. Chromataclysm should just get out of there, yeah.
Okay, he's out. That's helpful.
Head to a town or... Yeah, alright.
Yeah, there's one just north of... Yeah, there's one just north of here. Uh-huh. Yeah,
up.
Right there.
Go up. There we go. No, the other up.
Okay, he's actually going up.
There we go. That up.
Or, nope. No, please go heal yourself.
If Chromataclysm game overs because of this, I will be sad.
I would too, because he's put so much effort into this for Not much. Yeah, those enemies are giving peanuts. Okay, please just go to this town. Which I believe is the back half of Saria or something.
No, the one that he was about to go into. Oh, alright. Well, he's got infinite lives, apparently, so...
Okay. He had a heck of a lot more lives than I thought he did. I don't know where he picked up like 2 1-up dolls, but apparently he managed to do exactly that. Oh, that's what Mido was.
I don't think that was worth it for the attack 4, but we will see.
Yeah, he just spent a good couple minutes on that. And hey, Canuck is heading to the east in the meantime.
Okay.
Go west to find the...
Yeah, getting double debated for Chromataclysm. I'm not sure why Chromataclysm is really even in this town. I guess getting the medicine hint won't hurt.
Yeah.
Go east to find the medicine.
Okay, thanks.
But you need to go south and west to find the raft.
Yeah, like way southwest.
Which is the other south and the other east from what Chromataclysm is going right now.
Yep, by the way, Canuck found the Buru right next to the eastern raft tile and it's just gotten jump out of it.
So, unfortunately, Chromataclysm going west, but the wrong south.
Yeah, the wrong south.
Ooh, the water tile for Hangry Canuck, so if they ever come across the boots, we can see what's there.
Yeah, just south of the raft tile. Chromataclysm is in the meantime going nowhere near his raft. Because he can't go south right now. He's hammer blocked from going to the south in this direction. He needs to go.
Well, they
can
go around
back
the hammer
east.
block, and that's what they need
They
to
can,
do.
but unfortunately, he needs to go around. It's not fast. He has to either take the pass-through or walk all the way around, and neither one's fast.
No, especially because that's where Chromataclysm just was. I think it's a case of not remembering the map as well as they maybe should have, but unfortunate one way or the other.
Yeah, also, this is looking like a really stupidly linear east a bit to get to this part of things where Canuck is. You had to go west, you had to go east and south and west again to get over here. Because the raft tiles seemed to be in a really annoying map that had not much other than the Buru and the water tile.
Well, there was a forest tile too, but I don't think anything of value would have come of that.
Yeah, by the way, Nukasudo, kind of on the middle of the southern coast, it looks like.
Well, that just diminished the importance of the hammer, since Nukasudo is just there.
Yeah, we do know the trophy is in Spectacle Rock, at least. That could be required for Fairy, perhaps. There's life in Nukasudo.
Alright, so I believe that's 4 of our 8 spells. We're looking for... I think the Hangry Canuck, if they had any say in the matter, would have preferred to have the spell there. That way they just divorce themselves from having to deal with Nukasudo at any point forward. Aside from the very, very front half of things.
Mm-hmm. Any key or fairy is also currently in need of being found right now.
Yeah, the logic of the game right now is not telling the runners that they're going to find anything of value in a palace, because the logic...
Chroma's finding his raft.
Alright, there we go. Chroma finding the raft and should be into the east shortly.
Correct. Unfortunately, it found Jackal in the couple extra minutes they spent on the west.
Well, you lose track of where you are or where you've been, and next thing you know, you're basically tracking past places you've already been, going, oh, what's in here? Forgetting...
Oh, by the way, Desert Tile in the very southwest corner of the eastern continent. They're both in the southwest corners of their respective continents, actually, funnily enough. Unfortunately, the Desert Tile was complete garbage. One up all.
Alright, well, Chromataclysm did not fail to remember where the raft tile was.
Okay, there is at least that. Is gonna find a Buru right off the bat and get jump. And then we'll see him have to wrap around the east to get to the south. There's probably a pass through or something, or to get to the northern half of this continent. Or maybe that river double would do it.
Alright, so Hangry Canuck has the flute and can tell the River Devil to piss off, choosing not to.
He's been here already. I think this is straight east of the eastern raft. Interesting.
Problem is, at this point, I'm fairly certain the hammer is in the east somewhere.
I expect so, and there's a decent chance that hammer's sitting in an item cave on the east that leads you trophy to fairy, perhaps?
Well, what I'd be looking for right now... Well, there's one item left in the west, if that. So we're not really going to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's trophy. Yeah, Canuck has marked off all the item caves. Is missing the 2 items in Death Mountain, but we know one's the trophy and the other's junk, so...
Well, yeah, Trophy and a pea bag in Death Mountain are not going to help Hangry Canuck whatsoever. So, knowing all of the west side items and their locations, we can deduce that we're looking for item caves in the east, Maze Island.
And I suspect the Maze Island is past the river today, which look to be blocking the northern half of that continent.
Well, that's what confused me. They have the flute, so...
Yeah, they do. Also, here is, P... Okay, that's P4 there. Also,
was there a MOA floating around there?
We've seen P1 already.
Usually you're greeted by a flying MOA.
Oh, P2, sorry, I got mixed up. Looked at the pillars wrong. P2, whoops.
Alright, so... I would just get rid of the River Devil, if only on principle alone.
Right. Because it looks like that's how you're supposed to get to the northern half of the continent, and the southern half looked kinda useless.
I mean, Hangry Canuck now is basically giving back the time that Chromataclysm murdered in Death Mountain.
Yeah, because Canuck is gonna find a pea bag and absolutely nothing else. Canuck didn't do this earlier because he doesn't have a magic jar, but that's not it.
Alright, so that's one of our 4 locations that could be easily accessible. Now, this could open up New Kasuto for Chromataclysm.
No.
I did not see if it was...
As far as he knows, we've seen New Kasuto. It's in the south.
We've seen... Well...
He doesn't know that,
the
though.
item in the old lady's house at the
fair
start.
point.
I didn't see if it said 6 or 7 magic jars. We know it's not 5.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. Alright, Chroma giving... Oh yeah, Valley of Death was in the south as well.
There's a 50-50 shot that Chromataclysm happens upon New Kasuto and finds a potentially useful item.
Yeah.
There
Could
is
be
a
the
zero...
Any key, could be the hammer.
There's unfortunately a 0% chance for Hangry Canuck to find anything useful, although we have the knowledge of seeing Chromataclysms dip into Death Mountain, which
There's another magic jar for Chroma, so definitely can get the item out of New Kasuto now.
Okay, so now with 7 magic jars, when they happen upon New Kasuto, which I don't think they're very far from, it should be
No,
to the
once
east.
they check out the desert tile here on the southwest corner, they'll find New Kasuto to the east. Or they're just not gonna check desert tile. Alright, that works. That's what it's useless at any rate, so.
Interesting from Chromataclysm. Uh-oh. Gonna poke into a cave, decide, nah, not interested.
And yeah, there's New Kasuto.
Oh no, Hangry Canuck about to take a bath.
Oh, okay, he got the proper ones, that's junk. Okay, fair. Oh, by the way, that was Barba Rides with a Heart or something like that. Chromataclysm got a hint from the...
Oh,
Just the
Ripperoni.
payback in New Kasuto.
Alright, so we're down to where we were yet again, of having to walk through Maze Island and the remaining item cave in the east.
At this point, I'm thinking that River Devil's required to progress.
It may well be. It may lead to the Maze Island tile. We've yet to see it.
It looks to be blocking off the whole entire northern half of the continent.
Chromataclysm picking up life, so both runners now equalized for pretty much everything at this point. So 31 and a half minutes in, we're just about, forget where they are. Chromataclysm has a little bit of opportunity for growth being on the correct continent at least. Hangry Canuck needs to still find their bad news.
Yeah, Chromataclysm looked to have forgotten he doesn't spell, oops. Or got to the spell tower, realized he didn't have it, turned right around.
Yeah, so at large right now, I believe we have Fire, Fairy, Shield,
and Spell.
Ah, yes.
Because obviously, neither of them have it, otherwise they would have checked the spell power.
Yeah, very true. So, Chromataclysm, the best thing they can find right now is Maze Island.
Which is right there.
Yeah, so Chromataclysm going to head into Maze Island as their next move, I would think, once they take down that Lizalfos. Oh, Jebaited.
Yeah, mate.
This is not an item.
At least they know, he knows where.
No, it is an item cave.
This is an item cave. We'll see what this is. That's the medicine.
Alright, so the wild goose chase is on. The potential to head all the way back to the west, turn in the medicine for a spell, which got a 25% chance of it being fairy, 25% of it being fire, which could be linked to who knows what.
Making I would say a fairly good play of deciding to try and check out Maze Island here. Got 2 items. There's a palace you can at least dip into. Boots is gonna make this annoying though. And Canuck is...
I'm
not
trying
having a
to
good time,
debate
yeah.
if it's actually the right play, or more correct play, to turn in the medicine. This Maze Island is going to yield something useful, because we're running out of places that the hammer could actually be. However,
Hammer or any key.
Yeah.
Or maybe medicine gives us fairy. Like, there's not a lot.
Well, we could have medicine leading to spell, which brings us all the way back to the spell tower. You know.
Oh, that too. Alright,
Boots is still an item that are at large. The glove is at large.
And, oh, there's the glove. Never mind.
So...
Glove right next to the Maze Island Palace.
The glove doesn't immediately contribute to anything, but it does help when it comes time to clear out Palace 2, 3, 6. It really depends on what the next item here in Maze Island is.
By the way, we did just see P6, kind of a reddish color in Maze Island.
Oh, Chroma getting trolled by the enemy not even burrowing out of the ground. It's just like, oh, yep, I'm here. And I hover now, so suck it.
Oh, I think he actually managed to get a decent XP drop of 200 some odd points off that one enemy. I always forget what those are called.
Well, that might be the one enemy that's actually worth just about anything. It feels like everything's rolled just so low. It's... Well,
hey, there was another one. 180
worth
something.
100.
100, yeah. Yeah, the Leapers think they're pea hats today. Here in Maze Island.
Chromataclysm has me intrigued as to what the next item in Maze Island is.
Indeed. Unfortunately, I need to go through a lot of encounters here to get there.
Yeah, and without anything to really help with it, it's just unfortunate. Life seems to be doing okay.
Yeah. Simple Sarah. Angry alone too, lost in that mountain. You're not wrong. Also, just a heart container.
Ripperoni for Chromataclysm in Maze Island. Doing the correct thing immediately up and A-ing. So now the medicine has to give us either fairy or spell.
Or we need to try that River Devil.
The River Devil could only potentially lead to the final Eastern item. But my hot lead right now is the medicine, because I don't think it can give fire. I don't believe the logic counts fire as being a progression spell. Because it could be linked to anything. You can't count on it being linked to fairy.
I'm not sure either. Oh, yeah, we haven't seen water. We know where water tile and spell.
Yeah, we know where it is, but it requires.
We just can't get them right now. Spell is a thing, though. Just for the extra fun. Speaking of
fairy. So this will immediately lead to downstab for Chromataclysm as well.
It will. I think he has.
They're going the wrong way. Right? Your other right.
Yeah, not getting downstab?
Oh! No! What madness is this? They had jump
no idea.
and fairy. and just opted out of taking downstab. This will not, bite them in the ass at any point in this run whatsoever. I don't know if the sarcasm in my voice is completely or entirely obvious.
But I'm bad at sarcasm, and I can tell.
But I mean, you had downstab right there, and they had no way of getting it beforehand, or they would have been downstabbing their way through many of the places in Maze Island. And it's not like they're in Palace 3 or anything where they need the downstab to beat the boss. It just...
Okay, Canuck is finally, after, 10 minutes or something, in Death Mountain finally found Happy.
Yeah, I think I said it was around 31 minutes where the items had neutralized out, so it's at least 8 minutes where Hangry Canuck just murdered their time in Death Mountain, although they could not have known that. So, it is what it is.
It's what it is, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's, unfortunately for us, we, just read the last couple pages of the Death Mountain book and went, oh yeah, this ends horribly.
Yep.
Trophy is probably not needed at this point, because what are we gonna get? Spell? Fire?
Fairy.
Shield?
Not fairy, have it. Yeah, shield, fire, or spell.
All of which I would say are quality of life improvements and little more. Chromataclysm at least now has, items in palaces within the logic of the seed. Using
Indeed.
light and now fairy.
Oh, there's the hammer.
The hammer.
That's P1. Not necessary, but it will make traveling the western continent a fair bit easier, since they can hammer that rock instead of going around or taking the pass-through. But actually, Chromataclysm has Glove, Reflect, Thunder, and Fairy. In a flute, because I think there's a pretty good chance the River Devil's blocking the last Eastern Palace.
Looking at what Chromataclysm has compared to Hangry Canuck at this point, it's Glove, Hammer, Medicine, Fairy.
Yes.
So,
well, Glove, Hammer, Medicine, which gives you Fairy, to be particular.
Chromataclysm going to finish out Palace 1.
Very
Attack
fast.
5 compared to Horsehead is usually, 3 hits, but I guess Horsehead rolled up and decided, well, I'm going to take a bonus hit just for the hell of it.
It still didn't take any time, so that is Chromataclysm's first gem, but that is... I think he's actually in go mode.
Downstab.
Downstab, of course. But he can get downstabbed. He just decided not to.
Unless Chromataclysm has decided that, they just realized, yeah, that's 3 or 6, and yeah, we're gonna have to take the walk of shame.
Yeah, upstab could be required. We actually have not seen Darunia yet, I should know. We are missing Darunia and Old Kasuda for our eastern towns. I'm guessing they're probably up north beyond the River Devil, because, we've seen all the southern half at this point.
Even more reason to pop that River Devil out of there, just for the interest of, finalizing the exploration.
Right, I believe we've cited the Valley of Death, which has one of P4 or P5, but we have not cited the other one.
Well, we might have a 3-eyed rock available to us. I'm not
That
sure
too,
if
but they
we've
have
seen
the
two
flute.
palaces out and about in the Eastern continent. We've seen Valley of Death.
I'm not entirely sure we've
we-
seen how to get in there, but we have seen it.
We've seen Maze Island, so those are the two compulsory palaces that you
Correct.
know are going to be on the map. There's always one palace that's out and about on
We
the
saw
Eastern
that as
continent.
well. P2 was a
So the
was
question becomes, is the last palace just out and about as well, or if it's gated behind Three-Eyed Rock? Which isn't really much of a useful question to ask because the runners have the flute.
yeah. They don't care about Three-Eyed Rock. They're hoping nothing's boots locked.
Well, Boots could be in a palace at this point, so Chromataclysm is into 3. I'm
Finding the-
surprised that they did not walk to the end of that to pick up a key or a pea bag. Chromataclysm again getting married to their XP level, which I think is a big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, Canuck is back in P1. I don't know if he has any keys, but he is looking to complete this, I'd assume.
Well, this is not going to help the Hangry Canuck whatsoever.
No. Because the item in here is a hammer that's, not required.
Well, if Hangry Canuck goes and gets the hammer, well, Hangry Canuck got key blocked. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
But I think if Hangry Canuck ends up with the hammer, they're going to end up getting the trophy instead of getting the medicine from the east. So it's just the unfortunate case of, getting butt touched for Chromataclysm, having to refill their magic to ferry through a key door. Hangry Canuck.
E3 also glove blocks to no one's surprise.
Yeah, okay. Chromataclysm did realize a key dropped, so jumping back over to pick up the key, smart move.
Indeed, wants to conserve magic, because Fairy's not especially cheap today.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, they're just short of being able to cast it 3 times, I believe. But Chromataclysm picking up a life level, picking up a key, or excuse me, a magic level.
Magic 5.
So that may change the value of Fairy, and also make Chromataclysm regret taking life levels earlier. Which, well, they are newer, so I won't savagely mock them for taking the life levels, but I will all the same say life levels bad.
Yeah, so you've got a bit of background noise going. And here's Rubenek. Speaking of, you also I don't know if Chromataclysm knows the downstab less trap for Revenak, but this is also where downstab is very handy and required, logically.
Well, it's a waste of time to try to joust Revenak while he's mounted on his horse, but that's just my personal opinion. Oh, Chromataclysm, why do you do this to yourself?
Trying to get, let's see, 290 points right here.
Well, they're gonna get half of that.
Yep, that red iron knuckle just gave him half of it. Now he needs to find something else that's gonna give him the other half.
Well, he bypassed what looked to be a Stalfos, which are usually around 50 to 100 on their own.
Yeah, I don't know. Chromataclysm really not wanting to sacrifice those levels. That bot isn't gonna do it. Neither is that.
I also agree with the JJ48 car. Oh, Hangry Canuck found their medicine, so surprisingly, not choosing to immediately up an A, I think they're going to get debated by Maze Island.
Yeah. Alright.
So Hangry
Chromataclysm.
Canuck will end up finding another rabbit hole by picking up the hammer and a heart container.
I mean, Maze Island Glove is nice, but it might be more preferable to just single dip the place rather than...
Well, the problem is Hangry Canuck doesn't know that, so Chromataclysm finding the item. Of course, I notice it's the item room right as I see them get whatever it was and are already
Magic
on
jar.
the way out.
Magic jar.
Okay, so Chroma paying the price for their insolence.
Yep.
Just there we go. Alright. Jackhammer strats are go. And
finally getting that level he wanted and is gonna get out of here.
Not even that. Chromataclysm opted out of what looked to be Magic 6 and is going for Attack 6. So all of this was just a diversion.
He could have gotten...
Well, this is the problem with having high life level. You can't manipulate things to double level. So instead, Chromataclysm just opted into, wasting a bunch of time just to get Attack 6, whereas better level management may have yielded better results.
Yeah.
Like being able to take a life level, or magic level for that matter, and also get the attack level.
Yeah. Just kind of unfortunate for Chromataclysm.
But, it is what it is. It's a learning experience, so Chromataclysm hopefully does learn something from this. Picking up the heart for Hangry Canuck. And
who has yet to find the glove.
Well, it's along this same route, so...
It is. It's directly next to the palace. Just the tile left of the palace is quite literally it.
Alright, so Chromataclysm only has Great Palace remaining on the Western continent.
Which is right here.
Yeah, not gonna help, but Chromataclysm might debate themselves by looking for hammer locations?
Yeah, but Speckle Rock is right here at least, so won't be hard to find.
Alright, so the trophy isn't too far away, so I guess the only potential wild goose chase is... Oh no! Chromataclysm is falling right back down into Spectacle Rock. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I went the wrong way. But at least it's really quick to get in and out. Rudo is off to the far west, if I remember correctly.
JJ48 part, I tend to want to agree with you that it would have made sense to gamble, but the whole point of Chromataclysm's nonsense was to pick up Attack 6, and unfortunately having the elevated, life levels worked against that. Any key could easily have been the item in Palace 3, all the same. So, there were a couple issues in play, and it looks like we've found...
We saw this earlier. This is P2 for Chromataclysm.
Okay.
The River Devil is, I think, just a bit east of here.
Alright, so the River Devil might lead to something of value then. If not the remaining palace we've yet to see.
And I'm also not sure if we've seen the entrance to Valley of Death. I know we've seen the valley itself. I'm not sure if we've seen the entrance.
Oh, bad luck for Chromataclysm there. Having to opt out of a pea bag. I'm...
And child. Alright,
so child leading to one of the remaining not so useful spells. Spell could be useful. The any key could be behind the spell tower. The trophy spell or the child spell, fire spell and shield remaining. So I think it's not too much of a stretch to assume the runners might be interested in turning those spell items. Well, we kind of know what fire isn't at this point. Anytime you cast a spell, if it's linked to fire, you start shooting fireballs. So we know it's not life, for example.
That is correct.
It could be fairy, and we don't know, because the fairy can't shoot fireballs.
It is not jump. I think we've seen jump enough to verify it's not that.
Correct. So, we could see a fire thunder, for all we know. Hangry Canuck going to get fairy. So Hangry Canuck, 24 minutes after, murdering their time in Death Mountain, is now back on track.
Yep, getting fairy 55-minute mark here is technically, they're both technically in go mode at this point. It's likely unless depends on, hopefully they don't need to get the boots for anything.
They shouldn't. TM.
We do know where the water tile is.
The water tile could have a useful item.
And there could be a lake blocking something. And there could be a lake or river blocking something in the northern half of the eastern continent as well.
Well, that's entirely possible. Unlikely, but possible. I
remember I forget if it was a weekly or I think it might have been a weekly a couple weeks back where they had to get the boots to go to this one cave that was hard blocked by like a little lake to get your hammer or glove or something.
Oh yeah, that was a weekly, and Trails was pissy about that to the nth degree because it was a boots blocked hard required item, and Trails couldn't find that item for the life of him.
Yeah, but yeah, that's an example of how boots can end up being required.
It was actually the first race that we actually calmed together.
It might have been, yeah. Okay, Chroma deciding to up an A and restart P2 here. They're both in purple palaces. Canuck is in 3.
Canuck, I presume, is in either 3 or 6.
This is the...
I'm
actually
sure
not sure, because
3.
This is 3. 6 is more reddish colored. It's like more... It's... unfortunately, all 3 palaces in question are kind of purple, so...
Hangry Canuck just... suffering from low levels, period. Which is
655 versus 334 is quite a difference. Is also short 3 magic containers and a heart container as well.
Well, they're equal on heart containers, at least, as Chromataclysm found their way to Helmet Head. At this point, though, I would really, thinking that I'm behind, as Angry Canuck should rightfully think at this point, having murdered about 21 minutes.
Yeah.
I would be focusing entirely on attack levels and trying to backfill my magic levels, or if I can somehow pick up a magic level and then overfill to get an attack level with turning in the crystal. I cannot see a way in which Angry Canuck taking a life level would be a good thing.
No, he isn't in particularly strong need of it, and more desperately needs to get attack and magic levels at this point, because Thunder isn't castable either, and I think Fairy is only barely castable.
Well, look at his magic bar after casting Fairy twice. It's NA, not applicable.
It's basically empty, yes.
Oh no. Hangry Canuck gonna take the L against Revenak, losing the... unfortunately losing the jackhammer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Hangry Canuck just... Land of Tilt here, it looks like. Just not properly executing this fight at all.
Yeah. In the meantime, Chromataclysm has got an extremely cheap fairy and is using it to try and fairy feet through some of these encounters, but isn't having the most luck. And I think he's just given up and is just going to go through the normal way. I think fairy costs like 1.5 bars of magic for him or so right now. Probably less.
Last I checked, I thought it was 33, and I don't believe he's taken a magic level. Hangry Canuck executing correctly on the jackhammer.
Might be 33, yeah. It's somewhere between... Alright, okay, yeah, so it's mostly... Well, I thought it looked a bit more purple.
Oh, it actually did go down.
Screen.
So it was 22.
Yeah, it's 22. That's about what I figured. Yeah, so here's P6 for Chromataclysm. It looked a little more purple on Canuck's screen, but it's actually dark red.
Oh no.
Huh?
Hangry Canuck just screwed themselves.
What did they just
life
do to
5, which was the exact wrong thing.
Ooh, yeah, because they're now in the same situation that Chromataclysm was in.
Because having a higher life level makes it that much more difficult to overflow and pick up the next attack level. Hangry Canuck also doubling down and diving back in for the items, so there was no reason whatsoever to dunk that crystal at this point. I just think it's a massive mistake from Hangry Canuck.
It is. I don't remember what the P3 item was, but it's dead at any rate. Speaking of items, there's the last part. No, Child was P2.
Okay, Child was P2, okay. Oh, it was the hammer.
No, Hammer was P1.
Hammer was P1. Oh, it was a magic container. Okay,
that's what it was. Yeah,
right,
it's not the Child Frico, that's the wrong purple palace.
Colors are fun.
I use colors to tell palaces apart a good chunk of the time. It doesn't help, though, when two palaces are purple.
Alright, so Hangry Canuck now should immediately up an A. They're not going to get anything useful by staying in Palace 3.
No. Okay, yeah, they're leaving. They're heading for P1. Yep.
Alright, so P1 is going to get us the hammer.
Correct.
So we could potentially get a trophy out of that. Hangry Canuck. I doubt heads back to Spectacle Rock, but we'll see. I mean, it's possible to, follow the yellow brick road.
Also, okay, Chromataclysm has found a way out because he can't cast Fairy right now. And I was just stuck trying to find a way to get somewhere for magic here.
Well, that was fortunate because that was a 50-50.
Yeah. Also, lag for some reason. This room, I don't think this would be super laggy, but apparently it did.
Many sprites are on the screen.
And I guess Fireballs plus the Bubbles and Moas apparently decided to just lag the stream this game. Yeah, that would be funny, JJ48 card. Just have every brick and block or block of a palace have that palace's number over. That would be funny. Oh, there's the death for Chromataclysm, down to his last life. But yeah, so I usually write down, I have a little notes sheet, I write down roughly where the palace is. What that looks like is a bit messy. And then also what color it is, because you don't always get a chance to spot a pillar to know what palace they're in at a quick glance.
The collapsing bridge is usually only laggy if you have a Moa deciding that it wants to try to shit on you.
Mm-hmm.
To answer the question for you, JJ48 car. And it's usually multiple Moas that have to do it, or the floating skulls here that we see on Hangry Canuck's side of things.
Yeah. Alright. Chroma is now on the second mini-boss Rebanek of P6, and I think should be on his way to Barber pretty fast here.
Yeah. When there's one head in the Rebanek fight, that's the item room. When there's two, that's the way to the boss.
Yeah.
So it may not be immediately the next screen, but oh no, Chromataclysm having to take a drop. That's like a drop right after Thunderbird. Oh no.
Also, Canuck is gonna get the hammer, has gotten the hammer now.
Chromataclysm, I thought was, has a key, but uses fairy anyway. Whoops.
Might have just forgotten. It's not like he doesn't have... It's not like he needs the magic particularly terribly at the moment.
Yeah, magic isn't too much of an issue at Magic 5, and all the magic containers, so 128 divided by 22.
That's 6. That's 6.
Just short of 6?
Just short of 6, yeah. Yeah, 22 times
6
5
would be
is
132. So 5 fairy casts per life. As Horsehead is out of there, Hangry Canuck's going to pick up, hopefully, Magic 5 or Attack 4 from this gem.
He needs it at this point.
Oh yeah, needs either of them, if not both. Taking the magic level up, so this is going to have the immediate benefit of knocking Fairy down to 22, and allowing him to cast it 3, if not possibly 4 times.
3 times. He has 5 bars.
I would look
that's
again.
6, actually. 96, so that's 4. Can't math. I can't look at the screen, rather. I can math,
right,
I can't read.
With 3 magic bars, but unfortunately, excuse me. With, you said he had 5. He had magic 5, but actually 6 bars.
Yeah, that's what I got mixed up on. And next, I'm looking back into GP for a sec. I thought you weren't supposed to math on Twitch, lol. Oh, Chromataclysm decided to restart. Okay. Yeah, I think he got lost.
Yeah, that having to take a drop right after the Rebanek where you're supposed to have Barba being past it, it almost tells me you're supposed to jump that particular gap instead of drop down. I believe Chromataclysm has already been through this area. Palace 6 is a maze of potential jumps, so drops, jumps, and other such nonsense. Oh no, Angry Canuck getting rejected. Chromataclysm just rage slashing the blocks just for the heck of it. Gonna commit down to another drop. Angry Canuck unfortunately getting rejected a second time. So Chromataclysm taking all the jumps. And unfortunately, flipping the wrong way when it comes to the 50-50 statue this time. Hangry Canuck finding the child.
Which unfortunately is not especially helpful.
No. Not in the immediate here and now, but it could be. Hangry Canuck up an A.
Also, I just noticed a cost of magic cost of 61 for Thunder at Magic 5, so that they can cast that and still have room to cast other things if need be.
Let's see. Oh, unfortunately, not able to be cast twice by Hangry Canuck. But Chromataclysm definitely has the option of just going for it with Thunder.
Seems to mostly be using it on Life and Fairy, which I can't fault him for.
Not a bad plan. Chromataclysm, however, seems to be...
Lost?
Yeah, that would be the correct answer. It looks like they're in a loop of some kind. In Palace 6. No, you should not be going in here. This is what caused you to start the loop in the first place, I think.
I'm not entirely sure. At this point, I'm lost.
Chromataclysm went down that hole they just jumped over. Because they were going from right to left in this very same room. Now they're going left to right, and it's not going to get them anywhere.
Yeah, I think this is a loop.
Oh,
also
no.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's a sauna bath.
So, I am trying to figure out what Chromataclysm is up to at this point, because they're in a loop.
Quite a lot.
This doesn't help.
No. Yeah, he's trying to get himself unlost, just not succeeding right now. And I've seen this elevator in Keydor before too.
The only thing I can think of is they're trying to get back to the drop room, and instead of taking the drop, actually jumping the gap. That's the only thing I can think of. But I mean, I'm looking at Chromataclysm's screen every so often. I'm like, okay, I've seen
back here. Yeah, we've seen that elevator in Keydor at least
like 3 or 4 times now. And I'm just going, oh, this is not where Chromataclysm wants to be. if they can remember how to get to the Rebenak. Oh, and they fall down the Canadian hole.
Canuck in the meantime is not having the greatest of times in P2.
Well, these palaces are not the greatest, to put it bluntly.
And here's the other side of that. No, that's actually a different elevator key door, so this is... It's not where he was before, at least 5 seconds before, but that doesn't mean he wasn't here earlier. Unfortunately, Chromataclysm is very lost. Nick also seems to be going in circles. We've definitely seen this room several times already.
Well, I think Hangry Canuck might have accidentally happened upon the right path. Chromataclysm. Oops, found Barba.
Oh, there's
okay.
Barba, finally. Also, what about Canuck?
I think Hangry Canuck may have found the right way as well, finally.
Yep, he has. There's
Chromataclysm getting rejected, trying to jackhammer Barba a second time. So, unfortunately, with Attack 3, this is going to be a little less convenient of a fight for Hangry Canuck. Barba rolling pretty high. However, that jackhammer with Attack 6 doing... Barba's just out of there, and that's really all that matters. Hangry Canuck finally getting Attack 4.
Yeah.
So... Chromataclysm ahead by a single palace. Hangry Canuck with their...
And neither of them has seen
direction.
We actually haven't seen either of the remaining 2 palaces. I'm still not entirely sure how you're getting into Valley of Death.
Valley of Death. We just have no idea how to actually get in there.
Yeah, that's our problem. We haven't seen the entrance to Valley of Death, and I'm fairly sure the River Devil's blocking the other palace at this point.
This is why I want to say something, and it feels like it's just wrong to say it.
Oh, there's the Valley of Death entrance. It's actually incredibly short.
Ah, okay. Well, Hangry Canuck finding Old Kasuto and fire, so let's take a little look-see as to what fire is. Hangry Canuck should test it sooner rather than later, but we'll see.
Okay, did he take a pass through the River Devil to get up here? Because this is the northern half.
I'm not entirely sure. It looked like a cave from Hangry Canuck's side of things.
Because we have not seen this. And there's the last palace. Three-Eyed Rock doesn't exist, not that it matters.
Alright, so the flute, unfortunately, seems to be entirely useless. And Palace 4, our remaining palace that we've yet to see.
Yep.
I believe Chromataclysm is in 5.
That is correct. Chromataclysm just found Palace 5, which is also purple. Of our 6 palaces, 4 were purple today.
Now, what I was actually going to go down rabbit hole-wise here was turning in the trophy and/or the child would lead to shield and spell, the only 2 remaining spells that we've yet to discover.
Correct.
Would it actually be worth going to the spell tower? Because it feels like it could be the boots and/or the any key with a fairly high probability at this point. It feels like it would be a gamble, but picking up either... I think it would be boots more so than the key, because the key would be behind the water tile. Assuming that we don't have information on the item in Palace 5 or Palace 4, which...
We have not. We only just found those two palaces, one each from these runners.
It feels like the runners would still want to try to find the item, although they have no business, you know.
But boots or any key could be in either of these palaces. We have seen a hammer out of P1, child out of P2, a magic jar out of P3, and I think we saw a hint that there's a heart container on P6. So yeah, just P4 and P5 left for unknown palace items. I don't think these runners are probably going to go for it.
Well, Chromataclysm picked up the heart container in P6.
Oh yeah, he did. So
otherwise, he wouldn't have all the heart containers.
Right. Yeah.
So we can process of elimination that one. So.
Also, did Canuck just walk back manually to the start?
Yup. That's when you know you're just tilted out of your mind. You're just like, oh, I'm going to take this elevator. Oh, it leads back to the start of the palace. Okay, I guess I'll up an A and pick a different direction.
Because that is obviously not it. Quite blatantly obvious that was not how to get anywhere.
So, right now, I believe there are 5 potential locations left. We've got one item cave in the east we've yet to see.
Correct. We have the water tile, we have the spell tower, and we have P4 and P5.
2 item locations in 4 and 5.
Yep. Those are our 5 remaining item locations. Let's see. The any key is 1, the boots are another, and the remaining 3 are junk.
Unless we've somehow found both item locations in the east? I don't believe we did. However...
not according to the runners.
Trying to eco key. Almost had
actually,
it.
no. Chromataclysm actually has both item caves in the east marked, along with the desert tile.
Well, the desert tile was junk.
It was, and the water
Medicine was one of them, but I don't know what the other item was in the eastern area. So.
Oh, one is saying one was a magic jar. I know the medicine was in an eastern cave somewhere. Medicine was in the eastern
now
cave.
we're back down to 4 spots. Oh, there's Boots in Palace 5. Or 4, excuse me.
That's 4.
Yeah, Chromataclysm in 5, Hangry Canuck in 4.
Correct.
So the Boots could unlock the water tile, however, I don't believe Hangry Canuck to be anywhere near the water tile.
No, he's in the exact opposite part of the continent. He's in the far north, kind of to the east, I think.
Yeah,
and the water tile is as far southwest as you get.
Yeah, so unfortunate for Hangry Canuck finding the Boots. Someone
exact opposite,
because this might be the first thing they've had to click in about half an hour. But Hangry Canuck, there we go.
Other than I just clicked it, our tracker might be a little tired of shit. I guess while we're kind of seeing things we've seen already, shoutouts to our runners. We've been commentating and not doing that. But we can go with tired. Alright, thanks. Tumultuck is our tracker. Shoutouts also to our runners, Chromataclysm and the Hungry Canuck, and to my Kokon Freako.
Yeah, well, if I'm doing commentary, you know it's gonna be a fiesta, so...
Like comedy with you.
You know,
another 5
Hangry Canuck against Karok. And Chromataclysm having a bit of a rough time with Guma.
Okay, there it is.
Alright, Hangry Canuck makes a big mistake here by taking life 6.
Yeah. In the
do
meantime, this little
Don't you dare do it. Don't you dare do it, Hangry Canuck. Oh my god.
He's gonna do it.
Oh, welcome to 0-2, Angry Canuck. You've just kind of screwed yourself a second time on getting meaningful levels. Ugh.
Yeah, and okay, P4 was quite literally on the exact opposite corner of the continent from the water tile. It is actually in the far northwest corner.
Oh, I just saw the River Devil, and it's the little path that's blocked off. So it was only the pass-through by Maze Island that could get you up here.
Yeah, nice.
So the flute's useless, the hammer all but potentially useless at this point. Hangry
it's not
Canuck,
required at any rate.
You've got no reason being up here.
What
You're
are
just
you
gonna
doing?
Well, trying to figure out if they can bypass something with the boots.
Not really.
So actually, the water tile isn't that far away at this point. Hangry Canuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wait, it was the desert tile that was in the far southwest corner. The water tile isn't quite as far, but ridiculously far.
So we'll see what's hiding here. Oh, P-bagged.
P-bag. Yeah, that ain't it.
At this point, now it's between Palace 5.
Chroma's getting the item out of here, I think.
Oh, why?
Oh no! Why? They're both going, by the way. They both
key, or it doesn't help you progress through the rest of the game. Just, you know, I don't get it. Like, Chromataclysm has just gone completely off the reservation.
Go mode. He's been in Go mode since he got Fairy. I don't know what the current cost of it is, Magic 6, but it certainly doesn't go up, so it's maximum 22.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Well, the thing is, Palace 4 does have a couple key blocks, but Great Palace has exactly 0. There are no key doors in Great Palace. So the N key is only going to help for Palace 4. The boots are going to lead to a P-bag. I
I guess Chroma thinks that the north might be blocked off by boots, because he's seen a River Devil, and for all he knows, the River Devil is blocking it.
You know, you need the boots to get up there, so the boots are in the palace that's up there.
Okay, finally. Chroma, please get out of here.
Getting out of there, going, alright, neither of the items that I can find are of any value to me. So, what Chromataclysm needs to do is big brain that they need one of these two pass-through caves.
Okay, he's going in.
Looks like Chromataclysm has just figured it out, either by blind luck or dumb luck, but either way, Chromataclysm is on the right path.
Yeah, thank you for getting out of P5. Alright, and is now gotten up to the north.
Actually, I think this is...
Oh, wait, no, that...
Reptile. That was the wrong pass-through cave.
Ooh. Yeah, Chromataclysm needs to find...
So, Chromataclysm has to go back to Maze Island. And out of all of this, as fucked up as Angry Canuck's levels are, they might actually be in the lead right now. Which,
yeah, because Chromataclysm needs to find...
say at this point.
Yeah, because that one pass-through cave is their only way up there, because as it turns out, the River Devil is dead-ended.
And the River Devil is of no value.
And the boots are up there, so you can't even get through. You can get out of there that way, you can't get there. You can't get in that way, though.
So, Chromataclysm has to actually make it back to Maze Island. Use the other pass-through cave. And hope that Hangry Canuck gets caught up in Palace 5. They see the Valley of Death on Hangry Canuck's screen, so... Yeah, Palace 4 is actually only accessible through having boots, which you find in Palace 4, or the pass-through cave that is literally right next to Maze Island's bridge.
That's the only other way of getting in. They're kind of annoying, and yeah, Canuck knows where P5 and P. Well, he doesn't know. He knows P5 is in the Valley of Death. So
find it because narrowing
right
down
there.
where the location is.
Yeah.
It's on Maze Island. It's just a matter of remembering where the palace is and how to get to it.
Yeah, they're gonna just use the boots to get back there faster.
So
Okay.
Hangry Canuck is going to start their final palace. Yeah, that's where you need to get to, is up there, Chromataclysm.
Yeah, now you need to find your
the pass-through cave for it, which, unfortunately, you're going the wrong way.
Yeah, don't go east. Don't go west.
No,
you
no,
need to
no,
go
no.
east.
This is actually right. Because Chromataclysm's going to head back down toward Maze Island, and this is
okay,
actually
right. This is a pass-through that's useful
path.
for that.
This is the quickest path back to the cave that they need to get into.
Oh wait, yeah, this is okay. That's good. Yeah, Canuck can make up a bunch of time in P6 because yeah, Chromataclysm got incredibly lost in there. Hey, Trails, by the way. Okay, there it is. Thank you. Well, Chroma's gonna get a very useless fire. I don't think I remember. I don't remember what it's
I
going
don't
to.
think
but I don't
Hangry
need
Canuck
it.
has actually tested fire. So, yay. Chromataclysm, test your fire, please.
Thunder. It looked like.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that's
now,
nice.
This is just like, if I had any hair left, I'd be pulling it out right now.
It
but-
beats. I think the last time we was even more of a face palms moment. The race that went 2.5 hours for no good reason.
Yeah. Yeah, that
This isn't
one,
quite that bad.
just Chromataclysm picking up the upstab, so that
Good reminder that Canuck doesn't have it.
correct. So unless you are Trails, I don't think many other people can make the upstab blocked rooms.
Yeah, I know Chromataclysm's pretty new. I have no idea if Canuck would know.
But for the record, by process of elimination, the spell tower has the any key.
Yep. Vanilla.
So Chromataclysm, don't do this to yourself. Please don't do this to yourself.
Well, he finishes exploring the north before he decides to go somewhere else, because his last palace is up northeast of here.
Yeah, he will find Palace 4, hopefully, before, having any delusions
Yep, there it is.
of,
Okay.
picking up any key from the spell tower.
Yeah,
So-
he needs to not do that.
Alright,
Magic 6,
the
with
race
fire
is back on.
especially. Yeah.
So, Chromataclysm had their brain fart. Hangry Canuck has murdered at least 21 minutes in this seed so far. Chromataclysm probably is murdered just as much when they were in Palace 6 previously.
Yeah,
because
they got incredibly lost.
Loops into loops, and by the time P5 would have to be junket.
Chroma left before you found it. He dug it for a bit and decided to make the right decision and get out of it.
50 shot between Spell Tower and P5. We did not see P5.
We have one more at 10 p.m. trails. Let me go dig up who it is.
The
it
commentary
is
for
10
that
p.m.
is going to be, unfortunately, not to the level of this particular race.
It's a Schmitty versus Taco. Or also known as Salmai Lin because, it's called Taco because no one can pronounce it. And
someone with an unpronounceable name. That's who you are. You're going to be now unpronounceable name. Anytime I do commentary, you are now unpronounceable name.
Taco, or, the way I read that is Xiaomei Lin, but also...
Alright, Hangry Canuck, guess what? Hope you like your loops.
Yeah, because he's gonna be going... lol. Xiaomei Lin. And also, I do apologize, I botched how to read that, because that's what comes to mind for me reading that.
Hangry Canuck, lava bath.
Yes, Trails, in short. Yeah, that is what it is. Yeah, fair. Okay, Chroma taking a death to get back his life and his magic and health.
Yeah, Hangry Canuck is either on the right path or just in a death loop.
Yeah, for whichever reason, Chroma just picked up the boots.
Well, why not?
It will help him get back to the... It will actually be his fastest way back to GP, is to walk around the... might be the fastest way, is to just walk around the western end and get back to the raft tile, because GP's next to the other raft tile. Yeah, okay, Canuck is back in this room. He is currently in a loop.
I think Canuck is in the loop.
He is. This is a loop.
But unfortunately, Chromataclysm finding Karok before Hangry Canuck was able to find Barba.
Yeah. And Karok wasn't super hard to find, it looks like.
No, Karok's just being, like, super douche mode activate. Deciding to show up right on top of Link 3 times now. Out of the, I believe, 7 possible positions.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, Canuck is definitely in this loop, because this room is one you see a lot in this particular loop.
And Hangry Canuck has found Barba, so... Chromataclysm doesn't know how close they are to actually losing this race now. But they should be first into Great Pal. Oh no, Hangry Canuck. That is not the correct way to take on Barba. And that game over is going to be awful. This is probably about 3 to 5 minutes to the timer of murdered minutes on Hangry Canuck's side.
Yeah, alright. Chroma, where are you going? You need to get to GP.
Well, they're going down to the Raptile.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, wait, wrong continent. That's why I'm confused.
That's alright.
Got lost. You're not wrong, Archaea. Totally confused all the time the story of Z2R. Yeah. And gods, yeah. Yeah.
Alright, well, one thing I'm not confused about. 139 even, the curtain opens on the final act for Chromataclysm. Into Great Palace we go.
Right, also, can Canuck manage to remember how to avoid the loops to get back to Barba?
It looks like it, yes. However, I reserve judgment until we actually re-find Barba's lair.
We did just see a downstab block for Chroma right off the bat in GP.
Well, having downstab and upstab is a good thing.
It is.
Oh,
That's a loop.
unfortunately, that's dead end.
That is very much a dead end.
Alright, so unpronounceable name is on about some gibberish about, like, Canada land there. They just let anybody in chat now, don't they? Like, and yes, for the record, I try to equally offend all people, just so you know. I don't want to be classified as someone who offends anyone over anyone else, so, you know, I feel like I've done my job properly if I've offended everyone equally.
Yeah, by the way, lol, Trez. By the way, shoutouts to Trez, cause now that he's since he has turned up now, he's our restreamer today, but also runs just about everything on ZSR, so thank you for all the work you did.
Me apologize? Well, Zeke, it's not for lack of trying, that's for sure. Hangry Canuck, back into the Barba fight, so looks like potentially, you know, executing on this fight. Chromataclysm actually got in a pretty good jackham. Oh no. Oh no.
That's not
Canuck.
Chroma who got a good jackhammer, that's Canuck who got a good jackhammer. Wrong runner, by the way.
Well, Chromataclysm was the one that got the jackhammer, so, you know, that knocked off like a good 3/4 of Barba's life, which may well be the difference in this match.
Indeed. Speaking... Okay, Chroma continuing in GP, there's Thunderbird, as thinking it might be, but I wasn't sure of it yet. Here's T-Bird.
Yeah, Chromataclysm opted for executing on Barba, but Hangry Canuck unfortunately opting for being executed by Barba. So, you know, one of the many issues that have contributed to Hangry Canuck's potential demise, as Chromataclysm pretty much at the final hurdle taking on
T-Bird. By the way, yeah, so
Thunderbird
with
here. And I
Canuck,
think
Desi's
they've
plot has
just
got a
used
pretty...
Jump, which I do not approve of.
It's working, if nothing else. And yeah, Desi's split has it pretty much. Yeah, Canuck took Life 6 over. He should have definitely taken Magic 6 or Attack 5. Because Barb was not being nice.
It wasn't only Life 6, it was Life 5 when they didn't need it, and Life 6 when they didn't need it.
Oh, yeah.
It was, one screw up just kind of compounds itself into, multiple bad decisions stemming from the initial bad decision. So, Chromataclysm, I think, has had Attack 6 for the better part of an hour at this point. But that was also why Chromataclysm was able to jackhammer away, 3/4 of Barba's life bar when they were in that fight. So, this should have been an immediate double up an A from Hangry Canuck.
I think so. Okay.
Oh, wait, no. They still have Palace 5.
Yeah, they still need to go to Valley of Death, which is just north of Maze Island, is the entrance.
Okay, so yeah, a double up an A would have been extremely bad. Don't mind me.
Yeah, he would have had to walk all the way back here, which is not fun.
Yeah, I forgot that minor detail. So Hangry Canuck going to head into their final palace. Here I thought they were going to double up an A just to, get back on the right continent. And Trails, yes, fire is thunder.
Correct. I didn't actually catch what thunder cost at Magic 6.
Who cares? It's
costs.
fire.
Or fire. I didn't catch that either, is the problem.
Fire costs 11.
Okay, that's incredibly cheap.
So, thunder costs 11.
Yeah.
Chromataclysm going out of their way to pick up a 1-up doll. Not the worst idea, but not the best either. Remove the item room out of the possible pool of rooms left to go.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I would say that walking left in Great Palace is not the correct winning strategy, but sometimes you do have to go left to go right.
Yeah. Despite Chromataclysm getting incredibly lost in P6, Canuck had a hard time with Barba. And also got a bit lost.
Well, Hangry Canuck had a hell of a time in Death Mountain to find the P-Bag in Hammer Cave. Trophy was known to be in Death Mountain, but it ended up leading to something that we do not need.
Yeah, it's either Spell or Shield, neither of which they want or need.
I think it was Spell, which has a 50-50 shot of being any key or a junk item like a 1-up doll.
No.
Oh, it was Shield, okay. Alright,
it is Darklink.
So Darklink making an appearance, so unfortunately this is probably going to be the death knell for Hangry Canuck in this particular match. Chromataclysm should close this out in fairly short order.
He will. There it is.
Alright, so chat, you know what you need to do. You're already doing it. Get those GGs going. I believe Chromataclysm will now be 1-1. Hangry Canuck, I believe, unfortunately falling to 0-2 as a result of this race.
So GG's Chroma, first place of the winning this race, and Indeed, 1-1 as Rico said, at a time of 1:47:48.
So the Hangry Canuck definitely has every right to finish out the seed. However, we may end up moving aside for the next race. I'm not sure if they can take one of the other ZSR rooms or if they are going to stay in this one.
ZSR3 looks to be available.
Okay, so with that being said, we may end up sticking through the whole way. Chromataclysm may or may not join us for a post-race interview. Looks like we've heard the invader alarm, so it looks like we are enjoy. Trez, get out of here. We don't want to interview you. Get out.
Wow, okay. I just want to say that Schmitty and Chimilling actually decided to wait, so after we're done here, we'll actually move over to the next room.
Well,
Good to know.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, we are done here.
Canuck just called it quits.
Okay.
Yep, there's a... Yeah, okay, he's... he hasn't quite paused. He has called it quits in the race. I think he might actually stop playing once he kills Guma.
Well, I think, trying to take down Guma just for the pride aspect is definitely, trying to end things on a positive note, but, that's a game over, so Hangry Canuck may just,
That's it. Yeah, that's the...
hack it in at this point, but the FF did come through, so if Chromataclysm joins us for an interview, we will interview. If Hangry Canuck joins us, we will interview Hangry Canuck. If they do not choose to join us for an interview, I will start to close this down by saying Chromataclysm was our victor in this race with a official SRL time of 1 hour 47 minutes and 48 seconds. Again, Chromataclysm will move to a 1-1 record. Hangry Canuck will unfortunately fall to a 0-2 record. Hangry Canuck will have to win all 3 of their remaining matches to advance to the bracket stages, so there is still hope.
Indeed. By the way, speaking of Canuck, hello, GG's.
Why is it in every rando, every choice I make never works?
Well, I think you are not alone in making poor decisions. Chromataclysm had a hell of a time in Palace 6, and there wasn't really any way to know that Death Mountain was just the biggest whammy ever.
Oh my god, that
So it wasn't, by what you had available to you, it was not the wrong play. However, we knew it was. Just because Chromataclysm had gone in there, fetched out the P bag, and, it just did not work out for you, it seemed.
Once I found the pea bag at the end of the half-hour journey, I was like, yep, we're just going to put my feet up, drink some juice, and...
Fair enough. You were actually not that far behind. Because Chromataclysm struggled in many of the same spots that you had. And there was actually a small area in the game where you had the potential to have been ahead of the curve compared to where Chromataclysm was in the game.
I remember early on, you found the raft relatively quickly in the southwest corner of the continent. Chromataclysm took a good few minutes to get through there.
Yeah, I made the hammer was my biggest mistake, I would say. And then I made a few double backs and a few loops I didn't have to make, so... And it seems every palace I went into, the first room I found was the item. It just didn't matter. I couldn't find the boss first.
Well, any key, by process of elimination to help you fill out the things you didn't have, was either in Palace 5 or the Spell Tower. And I think that caused no end of difficulty for both of you. More so you, because I think you had Magic 3 for an absurdly long amount of time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just taking levels. I usually just take levels as they come. I don't really... bother.
That is an extraordinarily bad idea.
Trez, reminder that Chromataclysm's in the waiting room if you're
Oh.
listening.
All right.
Hey, Chromataclysm joining us. GG. Sorry, I had to remind Trez to drag you in.
Thanks. Sorry. First time
Sounds
I
like,
heard his voice on Discord.
Well, at least you weren't dragged in here kicking and screaming. At least you can hang your hat on picking up the W in this particular race.
Yeah, GG's on the win.
Pretty happy about that. Thanks so much.
Your microphone, I don't know what's up with it, but you sound like, complete nonsense to me.
Really?
Because that sounded slightly clearer.
I had to turn them up to maximum.
Yeah, okay, that sounded clearer.
Oh, sorry about that. I don't know
So,
what to do about it.
let's see. Death Mountain was a fun one, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Wasted a good 45 minutes of my life in there for nothing.
Man, well, I've done that before. Freako and Star can attest to that last week, right?
Yeah.
Every choice I made was the wrong choice. There was no right choice to discuss. If I went there, it had nothing I needed.
Sorry to hear that. I had my fair share of wrong turns, a good decision, and all that, but that's kind of where things are at right now. So.
Well,
Worked out in the end.
you got stuck in a particularly nasty loop in Palace 6, I believe.
My God, you got lost.
6 was rough for me this time. I was trying to find Canada, and I couldn't remember how I found it the first time.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I was watching both things back, and I'm like, oh, Chromataclysm's in that room again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chromataclysm's in that same room again. And then I see you take a drop, and I'm like, oh no, Chromataclysm is in that room again.
Again.
It had two of the same rooms back to back almost. So it kind of looked like you were doing a circle.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes, but getting used to it, getting used to how some of the palaces move, and
Now,
what to look out for. Every mistake I make, teaches you something.
a little piece of advice that I want to give the both of you. Life levels are bad.
Yeah. Freako, Chad is also asking why it would be a bad idea to take levels as you go. Please explain it for everyone.
Since I have an audience here, the reason why life levels are bad is every life level that you take after maybe life 3, you start to have a diminishing return, and it makes it that much more impossible to level up a magic level or an attack level, potentially getting a double level out of a palace.
Mm-hmm.
So, my personal strategy is once I get to maybe life 3 or life 4, I am absolutely done taking life levels. I would rather stack up my attack levels. Now again, I am much more proficient at any keys, so I'm used to starting at 411 after the first palace. Not the luxury you have in a randomizer race, so I get that. Taking a couple early life levels definitely makes sense. However, every life level you take makes it that much more difficult to actually pick up a meaningful magic level or a meaningful attack level. And I think Hangry Canuck, you can attest to this because you were stuck at Magic 3 for well over an hour into this race.
I'm seeing the down stab. Don't use it against you.
My personal opinion,
it works sometimes.
you know, attack levels are more important than magic levels, which are more important than life levels, is basically the general economy of Zelda 2 Randomizer. Exceptions do apply because sometimes you just need to take a magic level to knock down the cost of fairy from 33 to 22, for example, which then allows you to cast it 5 times as opposed to 2 or 3.
Right.
So, magic levels have, far more importance than life levels. Personally, I would like to get to attack 6, which Chromataclysm did. I think Chromataclysm was at 667 for their levels.
I kind of didn't care about levels once I was at attack 6 and like Magic 5 or so. After that, if it happens, it happens. But I like that attack 6. That's a good first speed.
So, life levels just don't really help you, especially when you get 6, 7, and for the both of you, I believe, all 8 magic blocks.
Yeah.
I think both of you found all the jars and all the hearts, so the more hearts you have, the less important life levels are. The only time life really becomes even remotely meaningful is a Thunderbird fight. But that is my personal opinion on them.
That makes perfect sense.
So now that I am done preaching to the choir, was there anything that either of you... Well, I almost don't want to ask Hangry Canuck what they did right, because to their admittance, they, made every wrong decision possible. But, I think it's just a matter of potentially gaining a little more experience in the matter. Just taking what the seed gives you, because there was no fairy early on, which really meant none of the palaces were going to have useful items, or you get jebaited by a hammer, which I think led to Trophy, which may have given fire?
Trophy led to... where do you turn Trophy in again? Daronia?
No, Trophy's the second town.
Oh, I know. You turned Trophy into Rudo. We never saw you guys go back for it. No clue what it was. Child was what got you fire. I think.
So it was the spell was somewhere.
Spell wasn't. Oh no, spell's off the child.
Yeah, fire was linked to thunder, so Trophy would have been shield, which, the hammer would have, going for that whole rabbit hole dive, nets you shield at the end of your fetch quest line, which, may as well be useless, to be honest.
Yeah.
So part of it is just understanding what the logic of the seed is telling you to do. With a raft and no fairy spell, it's okay. Your next progression item is on the east, which I believe is where fairy was found.
Was. Oh no, you had to go to the east for medicine to go back to the west for it.
Okay. Yeah, because medicine was fairy and downstab, which then opened up Palace 3, if I remember correctly, 3 was a magic jar.
Yeah.
One,
Well,
and,
I think
1 and 2 were more useful.
one was Hammer, 2 was Child. But I think Fairy wound up being go mode for you guys because you technically because you had Reflect and Thunder already, and well, Eniki was not particularly nice today, so you had to use Fairy to get through Palaces. At least it was cheap.
Yeah, well, it could have been a lot worse for that. I
mean-
remember spending a long time just hoping I would get boots to try to access the northern part of the east, and was really frustrated that they just weren't showing up.
Oh, yeah.
To go up there, and eventually,
Boots were definitely an issue because boots were found in the area that you were trying to gain access to.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks.
So, with that being said, I think we're about 5 minutes past when the next race is supposed to start.
Yes.
They
So-
are willing to wait, but we should probably shut
Well,
up and let
I'm
them
trying
get
to
going.
figure out how I can make this much more painful of a wait, but
Wow.
I'm going to give the floor to the both of you. Hey, I am what I am. I am a troll. I have to perform my purpose.
Freaker, please never change, please.
You're great the way you are,
Please,
Frico.
yeah, never change. All right, everybody. I want to give a big shout out to Frico, to Malta who already left, and to Star. Also to both our racers who already left as well, to Chroma and to the Hangry Canuck. This was amazing. We're gonna be back in -2 minutes with the next race. I'm gonna speedrun the setup, and then we're gonna be back. Thank you all for watching, and see you very, very, very soon.
Yep.
Have a good night, everybody.